Hello everybody. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. And as you can see in front of me, I've got the Union Pacific Big Boy by Revell done. All in all, I'd say it's pretty easy kit. A little bit long in the tooth. Mine was warped, especially around here in the firebox. It was warped bad, but clamping and gluing and more clamping helped fix that. As I mentioned before in a previous video, this was a snap-tight kit originally by Monogram, and it was been released by Revell of Germany most recently. This is 1:87 scale, so it matches with any HO model railroad. And the kit number is 02165 if you're interested. But if you are planning on picking this one up, I would say $30 would be the limit. It's not a very complex kit. Most of it just snaps together, though I did use glue. There's not very many parts, and it's an older kit. It's about 40 years old, so about $30 would be my limit, all in. With that being said, though, let's take you through the model. Starting off at the front, you can see the Union Pacific keystone, along with the headlight, the bell, and the number boards. I marked my Big Boy for 4006, which is the locomotive that is at the National Transportation Museum in St. Louis. And I did that not because I've seen it at the museum, but just simply because that's the closest Big Boy to me at any given time. Except for when 4014 came across the Mississippi and into Illinois. At that time, that was the closest Big Boy to me, but currently at this time, number 4006 is closest to where I live, even though I've never seen it. One day I will. Moving along to the side, you can see, let me point it out, my knife. You can see here we have a decal representative of the Alco Builders plate, and I will put a picture of that up in the corner. And we just have more detailed decals. This black square is a decal. Here's the twin exhausts. There's one exhaust for each set of cylinders. So it's hard to see, especially since film is old. And since the 4014 is converted to fuel oil, it doesn't make as much smoke. But the exhausts are individual. So you'll see the first one and the second one. But at higher speeds, it kind of evens out. Moving along, you can see the first set of cylinders and drive wheels. All of this linkage is about 3 parts, so there's really no way you can mess it up. Here's some dry pipes down here. When I was doing the painting, I sprayed the whole model with that can of black paint. Then I used silver enamel, Testor's silver enamel, and painted side rods, front of the boiler, the firebox, and the wheels. To do the lining on the wheels, I used one of these. If you don't have any of these, get them. They're called micro brushes. If you have a hobby shop, they usually have them there. If you don't, I'll give you the item number here real quick. Micro brush applicators. This is the yellow. I got mine for $6.99. This is item number 1301, alphaabrasives.com. That's where you can get them. But they're perfect. They were perfect for lining those wheels. I lined the wheels on the front truck, drivers. I didn't do the rear truck or the tender. I just wanted that contrast. Moving back, you can see the second set of drivers. They function just the same as the first set. You can see the firebox with silver paint, some steam pipes with the gray, and again 4006 on the cab. Moving back to the tender, you can see there's a coal load. Now during service in the late 40s, one of the big boys, I think it was 4005, it may have been a different one, but it was converted to oil for a few months. And Union Pacific didn't think it was successful enough, they converted it back to coal. Now, when they were restoring the current big boy, 4014, it has been converted to fuel oil. And actually, up until recently, it was pulling the tender of Challenger 3985. So, if anyone tells you that the big boys were fired on coal and oil, technically they're correct, although one was only converted to oil while in service. If you see any discoloration near the decals, it's just because they're still damp. There's just a little bit of damp still left. I just finished this 5 minutes ago before I started filming. We spin the model around. You can see on the back we have the rear backup light and the red light. And again, UP 4006. I'll carefully take it off the track. Oh, so much for carefully. Move the tender over so you can see this inside of this cab, because it does have an interior. You can see it in there. Let me turn on the light. There. You can see some of the cab details in there. I picked out some of the valves with red. You really can't see it when you're just looking at the model, but I know it's there. As far as this track goes, this track comes in the kit. It's 2 pieces. There's the joint right there. Very weak joint. And it is plastic track. And you can see there's a giant gap between the rails. But it's a very weak joint. So, if you build this kit, what I recommend doing, shore it up with some wood or some plastic card. I just used some wood from a big tongue depressor. Super glued it on there. Did it on the ends, that way it'd be a little more level. I'm not going to paint the track. I'm just going to leave it black. That way it doesn't really detract from the model. I want the model to be the main focal point. But if you get this kit, by all means, paint the track, paint the road bed, or don't use this at all. In my opinion, it'd look fine on a couple pieces of regular model railroad track on the table. But, you know, this came in the kit, and when I build a kit, I like to use as many parts as possible from the box. It just, in my mind, I'm getting the most value for my dollar. But There's the underside of the model. All in all, a neat kit. Easy kit, good kit. Really, if you wanted to, you could probably do it in a long weekend, in 3 days. Probably less than 3 days, honestly, because there's really no painting to speak of. Just spray everything black, pick out your silver details, and you're on your way. So, the big boy's done. The F-14 I was working on is also done. I don't have it because I gave it to a friend of mine, and he was absolutely elated. So that's done. Now, the Hudson Hornet I was working on, and something happened. It was bad. I didn't like the color on the body, so I put primer back over it and sprayed it with a different color. And something reacted. I mean, I probably just got my chemicals mixed up. Whatever. Something reacted, and it started eating the plastic. It didn't eat the paint. It started eating the plastic. So, I don't have any photos, but I threw the body away. I'm sorry, Matthew. Matthew Inman sent me that kit, that Hudson Hornet kit, and I felt bad to throw it away like that. But there is just no saving the body. I have the other parts of the kit though, so it's put up. I didn't want to mess with it anymore. One of these days, you know. I know there is a resin body, and it's a Hudson Hornet pickup, so I might look at getting that and doing something with that. Or if not, I might get another body. But for now, that kit is nowhere in my mind. Sorry, Matthew. It's a great kit, goes together great. I just messed up with my chemicals. It happens. It's just a model. Other than that, oh yes, Jeff Gordon car. Jeff Gordon car is over there on the windowsill. What I'd started doing was started decaling it, and the decals were kind of trashed. So they started flaking off. So I stopped what I was doing before it got any worse. And I pulled as much off as I could, but what you see there didn't come off. Sprayed it with a couple coats of clear, sanded it down. Just going to try and blend the decals into the clear coat as much as possible. I have another set of decals on the way from Mike's Decals. So if you never need NASCAR or racing decals, go to Mike's Decals. I have another set on the way. Should be coming here soon, and I'll get that decaled. So, other than that, I'm not sure what I'm going to work on right now because I'm out of going projects, I think. Oh, no, there's one. There's an airplane in there. So I'll probably end up doing that one next. Man, who knew I could talk for 15 minutes about a model train and a car? Well, I appreciate you coming out and supporting me. And I appreciate you clicking on the video and watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you a lot more. But if not, You only need to be on here for 30 seconds before it counts it as a view. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. And if everything goes like it's supposed to, we'll have many more videos coming.